If you've been watching 𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐭𝐨𝐫𝐢𝐜 Orhan, you already know where the show stops. It ends right in the middle of the Battle of Pelekanon, right when everything is on the line. The screen goes dark, and you're left wondering what actually happened. Did Orhan win? Did the Byzantine emperor die? And what came after this fight that the show never showed you? So today, we're going to finish the story. We're going to walk through exactly what happened at Pelekanon, and then go beyond it, into what this battle actually meant for the Ottomans, for Byzantium, and for the next 600 years of history. Let's set the scene first. By the late 1320s, the Ottomans were no longer some tiny tribe camped out on the edge of nowhere. Orhan's father, Osman Gazi, had spent decades carving out territory from a crumbling Byzantine empire, and right before he died, his forces finally took the city of Bursa. That single conquest changed everything. Bursa became the new Ottoman capital, and Orhan stepped into power with a state that was small but dangerous, fast, aggressive, and growing. Orhan didn't slow down. He set his sights on two of the last major Byzantine strongholds left in the region, Nicaea and Nicomedia. If you're wondering why these two cities mattered so much, here's the answer. They were basically the last real Byzantine footholds left in all of Anatolia. Lose these, and Byzantium loses the entire region. So Orhan put Nicaea under a tight siege, and Nicomedia wasn't far behind on his list either. Back in Constantinople, things were already a mess. The Byzantine Empire had just gone through years of brutal civil war between an emperor and his own grandson. That grandson, Andronikos III, finally came out on top in 1328 and took the throne for himself. And almost immediately, he was staring at a crisis. The Turks were eating away at what was left of Byzantine Anatolia, and nobody before him had even bothered to personally lead an army out to stop it. Andronikos decided he would be different. He gathered roughly 4,000 men, brought along his most trusted commander, John Kantakouzenos, and set out to break Orhan's siege and save Nicaea and Nicomedia before it was too late. Orhan got word that the emperor himself was marching toward him, so he made a calculated move. He pulled the bulk of his forces away from the siege of Nicaea to go meet this Byzantine army head-on, before it could even reach Nicomedia. The two sides finally collided near a place called Pelekanon, close to where the modern district of Maltepe sits today, right along the coast near Istanbul. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Byzantines had around 4,000 men, heavier, more disciplined, built for standing their ground. Orhan's force was roughly double that, around 8,000 men, but built for speed, light cavalry, horse archers, fighters who knew how to hit fast and disappear before you could react. Orhan started with a major advantage by controlling the high ground and used mounted archers to pressure the Byzantines throughout the day. When the Byzantines decided to pull back, Ottoman cavalry struck their exposed rear, and after rumors spread that the emperor had been killed, the army panicked and fled, handing Orhan a clear and decisive victory. This was the very first time in history that a Byzantine emperor had personally led an army into battle against an Ottoman ruler. And he lost. After Pelekanon, no Byzantine emperor ever attempted that again, not one. The psychological blow was almost bigger than the battle itself. With no hope of rescue left, Nicaea finally surrendered to Orhan in 1331. And true to form, Orhan didn't punish the city. Nicomedia held on a little longer, but it fell too in 1337. With that, Bithynia, the entire region, was firmly in Ottoman hands. So this is exactly where 𝐇𝐢𝐬𝐭𝐨𝐫𝐢𝐜 Orhan leaves you hanging. But history kept moving. Orhan went on to get pulled into Byzantine civil wars, married into the Byzantine imperial family through Theodora Cantacuzene, absorbed the neighboring Karasi Beylik along with its navy, and eventually sent his son Suleiman Pasha across the water into Gallipoli in 1354, the moment the Ottomans permanently set foot in Europe for the first time. Orhan ruled for 33 years and died around 1360, leaving behind a state that had grown from a tiny frontier principality into the most powerful Turkish power in Anatolia, with a foothold in Europe that would never go away again. So now you know what happens after the screen goes dark. Let me know in the comments. Do you want a full breakdown of what comes next? The crossing into Gallipoli and the start of the Ottoman conquest of Europe? Drop a comment, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.